Welcome to another episode of Bargain Saturdays. And if you're wondering about the numbering, yeah, this was originally planned for September, but got pushed back because I never got around to recording the episode. And I didn't want to put it in Shark Month because, it's Shark Month. A movie about, man's best friend really doesn't fit in with a bunch of movies about man-eating sharks, in my opinion. Admittedly, the theme for, November is kids' animated movies. But I figure, a family movie fits in a bit better there than, it would with, the comedic horror of something like Toxic Shark or Shark Attack 3, Megalodon! But the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to Poco Little Dog Lost is the fact that my dad used to have a Pomeranian named Poco. This was back when I was really little, like around the time I had been born, or a bit before that. They had this little terror of a Pomeranian that tore up the laundry room floor. So when I was a kid and I'd go in the laundry room, you'd just see all this chewed up floor, and it was from the dog, Eventually they decided to just cover that up when they did some remodeling with some, like wooden tiles and stuff like that. Or fake wooden tiles, I forget. But at any rate, yeah, we eventually got that covered up. Oh, man. That dog was a terror. You're thinking, oh man, how lame. Your dad named a dog after a dog in a movie from the 70s? No, 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 no. He named his dog after the band Poco, which was formed in 1968 underneath the name Pogo. You're if you're wondering why they changed it, they were sued by a comic artist because he had a political comic named Pogo, and he threatened legal action if they didn't change their name. So a little nod and a wink, they changed it to Poco. Like, we'll just change one little letter. There, it's a completely different name now. So you can't file a lawsuit. Haha. And they did have a couple famous members in Poco. I mean, they've had a bit of a revolving door in terms of membership. We had Randy Meisner, one of the founders of the Eagles, was in Poco as a founding member. Yeah, he left before they finished their first album in the 1970s to go found the Eagles, or be one of the founding members. And they replaced him with a guy that would also replace him on the Eagles too. So it's a bit of a weird history there. Though I also have to admit, I have to feel a bit sorry for the band because they'll never make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because, while some of their band members have been inducted into the Hall of Fame as members of, like, the Eagles or some other bands, the band itself, has been available for nomination since 1995 and just hasn't gotten any. Despite being considered one of the founding members when it came to defining the sound of Southern California country rock. And you may have heard some of Poco's music on the radio if you flip through the stations every now and again. I mean, I've heard some of their songs at work before. So it's not impossible. Though I'll admit my favorite song is this one. And yeah, when I was a kid, we were going to the mall and stuff with my parents. They'd sometimes play Poco music because my dad would have control of the tape player or the CD player later on. You gotta have both mediums because Poco was making new albums until 2013 when the last founding member finally got to the point. He's like, my health won't let me tour anymore, and he passed away this year sometime. I believe it was like April maybe. Admittedly, I don't follow the band that much. I was looking at the Wikipedia article a bit earlier. But I did do a report one time on them in school for a music class. So some of that stuff I already knew. Though you might be wondering, you've been on this long tangent for like 3 minutes now about a band, that we don't care about that was formed in the 60s. Like, does it have anything to do with this movie? And the answer is yes and no. I mean, no, in that they didn't do any music for the movie or anything. And yes, because this movie is so boring, I'd rather talk about anything else. I mean, the problem with Poco Little Dog Lost is that it's about your most basic plot possible when it comes to these pet movies. Pet gets lost. Pet, goes through trials and tribulations to get back home. Pet eventually gets back to family. But it's been done better in stuff like Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, which itself is a remake of a film from 1963, which itself is based on a novel from 1961. But yeah, if I had to pick my big problem with Poco Little Dog Lost, it's just what I just said. It's been done better, and I've seen better attempts. So I just can't enjoy Poco Little Dog Lost. If you enjoy it because you grew up with it, more power to you. But yeah, even at 1.5 times speed, I found this one just a really long sit.